Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting interview by Financial Insight. We are currently on the sidelines of the inaugural event that has been hosted by ZDA, which is the Invest Zambia Conference that was partly sponsored by ZICB, and I'm with the CEO of ZICB, who's going to just tell me a little bit about the bank as well as why it participated in the 2025 edition. So stay tuned for insights from this interview. Welcome back, everyone. As I had mentioned, I am with the ZICB CEO, Mr. Ngenda Nyambe. Ngenda, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and thank you for joining us on this special episode of the Financial Insight Show.
Thanks for having me, Mwelwa.
Absolutely. I know this is your inaugural, interview, but, we have a tradition where we just want to get to know about the individual as well as the organization he represents. So, are you able to just share with us, what the purpose and mission of ZICB is and how it aims at supporting the country's development?
Thank you very much. So ZICB was formed 7 years ago. We're 7 years old this year. And the purpose of the formation of the bank was really to assist businesses, especially local businesses, to easily access finance and help develop small business to grow into large businesses. As you know, access to finance has been a problem for a long time. So I think the government felt that we needed a Zambian bank with a Zambian touch that can easily, develop local businesses and grow them into the large corporate businesses of the future. So that was essentially the background of ZICB. So we are proudly Zambian. 100% owned, the only bank that is 100% owned by Zambians. Our major shareholders, in case some people don't know, we've got NAPSA, Zambia's largest pension fund, as the majority shareholder. We've got Workmen's Compensation, their shareholders as well. And we've got IDC in their shareholding as well. And a few minority shareholders that make up just under 1% of the shareholding. But basically that's our structure in terms of shareholding. So very strong Zambian support. And we are proud to be able to serve Zambian businesses as well as foreign and international businesses.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for sharing with us, because even I didn't really fully understand the full composition of what is. But just tell me a little bit, as CEO, what are your key priorities and how do you see the bank contributing to Zambia's overall growth?
Well, as CEO, my priority is obviously give back the shareholders a good return on their investment. That's very key. Secondly, to make sure that our clients are happy, that our clients can grow. We offer different types of products and services, both for corporates, and individual clients in terms of retail. We offer treasury services as well. So the main priority really is growth of the bank, and in turn growth of our clients. When our clients grow, we see more employment, especially in the SME sector, which is very, very key in this country. Makes up, estimates range from 70 right all the way up to 97% of businesses in Zambia. So the majority of the businesses are obviously small. They are comfortable with us. Our decision making is very quick because all our decisions are local. So really want to grow this bank. We were only about, just over a year ago, we only had 6 branches. We've grown to 22 branches. Our staff numbers were just over 100. We've doubled to nearly 300, So our assets have grown from just about, I would say about $1 billion. Now, we can safely say we are around 1.4 billion in assets. So it's a good story. Our profits have soared, and we want to keep it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, how do you envision the bank's role in promoting industrialization and commercial development for Zambia?
So, and that's a very important question because developing and industrializing Zambian businesses is really, really key for us. It's a key priority, and our role is really to understand the needs of our clients. You know, to sit down, look at their needs, and tailor-make solutions that are homebred. You know, as I'll keep saying, we're a Zambian bank. We understand the issues. You know, we don't need someone outside this country to tell us how to do things. You know, we are very, very much local and in tune with what is happening on the ground. So we really want these small businesses to grow with us, you know, from a small business to medium sized, or I should say micro to medium sized, and all the way to a large local corporate. We've got examples of businesses that have really, really flourished. Their needs are becoming more and more. Their governance structures have become more and more advanced because, you know, they came from nothing, Mwelwa, from nothing. Correct. You know, and we're able to showcase them, and we're able to get more and more businesses to grow that way. Right. So really, industrialization is about growth, and growth with the bank together with our clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we've obviously come to the end of the inaugural ZDA Invest Zambia Conference. Your company, or bank rather, was one of the sponsors.
Yes.
On Wednesday, on day one, the president gave an emphatic speech.
Yes.
And just as he's aptly known as the chief marketing officer of the country. How do you see, the president's key messaging to investors? How do you feel that it resonates with the mandate that you have with the bank?
Yes, he was very passionate in his speech on a day that I thought was fantastic. The attendance has been brilliant. Yes, yeah. And I think as chief marketing officer, he's done his part. People showed up. Yeah. People are still here. It's late on Friday afternoon, but it's almost like, it's still morning. People are all over the place, and people are still coming back for dinner later. But as chief marketing officer, he's done his part. I think the doors are open. Yeah. Okay, I think it's up to us, the businesses, not just my bank, but all banks, all financial institutions, to take advantage, because we always talk about an enabling environment, right? It's here. Zambia is open for business, so it's up to us now to take advantage and make sure that we open our doors. There's enough to share. That's why I mentioned other banks. Absolutely. There's enough to go around. ZICB can't do it alone. We need other banks to come on board, other companies to come on board, grow these partnerships, so that the country is rewarded for such a fantastic, inaugural investment conference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On a final note, on the last day, obviously, you were on a panel discussion.
That's right.
And which obviously had a special focus on SMEs. Yeah. What key messaging did you communicate during the panel discussion so our viewers can better understand? And what message do you have for SMEs in general who would like to work with the bank?
Yes, it was a fantastic session. I think for SMEs, the key points that came out is do a business that you're passionate about. Don't do a business because you think someone else is making money and you want to copy and paste it. Have a passion for what you do. Have a vision. Have a strategy. Have a proper business plan. And when you have those things and you come to the bank, it's easy, or any other financial. It's very easy for people to see that you know what you want, you understand what you want, and you have the passion for it. It's very difficult to just approach a business, a bank, for money when you don't really understand what you envision or what you want to do. So that was a key thing for me. I think it starts from here. And then secondly, make sure that you try as much as possible to regularize your compliance requirements, registration requirements, taxes, things like that. SMEs really struggle with such things. But the good news is, if you don't know how to go about it, come to the bank so that we do it together. We can actually guide you. And as your business grows, governance is very, very important, okay? it can't just be Mwelwa and sons or Mwelwa and children. At a certain point, you have to step away a bit and let professionals allow professionals to run your business on your behalf. Yes, you can still be overseer, but you can't be owner, CFO, chief marketing officer, and at some stage you have to let go and let some governance structures take over. You know, you're going to graduate and need a board, independent board. You know, you can't be CEO, owner, and the board, you know. These are the mistakes that we make. So that's why you find that a business doesn't become generational. It dies with the owner. It's because of these little things. So it was a fantastic session. I think everybody wants to meet SMEs and hear what they have to say. And I think most importantly, I think I said this last, form your company, let it grow, and contracts will come to your company. Don't let a contract form a company, because the company will die with the contract. It's supposed to be the other way around. So in a nutshell, that's what I would like to say. Fantastic session.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think just to add to that is build it and they will come. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
No, Mr. Ngenda Nyambe, thank you so much for speaking to us. And it's been wonderful for us, you know, to obviously just, you know, not only receive sponsorship from you to assist us in covering ZDA at this event, as well as yourself, but also just to bring out the key messaging that has come from this event. So on behalf of my team and myself, I'd like to thank you and your team.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And thank you so much, viewers, for your support and joining us.
Absolutely. So as we'd indicated, we're still at Mulungushi. So, you know, stay tuned for more insights that will come from this particular event. I've been your host, Mwelwa Chibesakunda, for Financial Insight. And as we always say, get to know. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting interview by Financial Insight. I'm your host for this conversation with the principal at KPMG Zambia, Mr. Jason Kazilimanga. Jason, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, and it's always a pleasure to be here and good to see you again.
Absolutely, and thank you so much. And you know, we're currently at obviously Mulungushi on the sidelines of what one can only describe as a very successful Zambia Development Agency Invest Zambia Conference. But before I get into the details of that, you know, you were, you know, obviously the moderator for the energy panel discussion, the final panel discussion of the day. Are you able to just share with us what some of your key takeaways were? Because it was, it had quite a composition of active energy players. We had ZESCO, the main utility, but then also we had a few IPPs as well as you know, CEC there. What was you know, your main key takeaway from that panel discussion?
Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of positivity in terms of the plans that ZESCO has. We learned today about the solar plants that they expect to commission this year, actually. 100 megawatts in Chipata, 100 megawatts in Kasama, and so on and so forth. In total, about 600 or so megawatts to meet their target of 1,000 megawatts of solar, which the president has insisted on, which is a good thing. And then also the other plans that they have to diversify our power sources much more. The ZESCO MD talked about some 2,100 megawatts that's expected from thermal plants, the likes of Mamba Energy, which is there already, and then some additional ones that are investing in that field, the Wonderful Group and so on and so forth. He also talked about the need in the long term to look at other sources of power, because we've been too exposed to hydro only, and we've been vulnerable there. So in the long run, we talked about even having nuclear energy, because we do have the uranium, and I think that's something that's pretty positive. Another, I think, takeaway was the need to bring in more investment in the power sector. Financing is available. Some financiers, for example, Stanbic Bank, have already shown the way. They sponsored or helped, CEC launch the green bond. So there are various innovative ways in which these projects can be financed. So those are some of the key takeaways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was a fully packed panel, a lot of industry experts, industry specialists there. I mean, we had the ERB themselves, or the regulator. We had the Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Energy, who espoused government's vision on what they want to do in the energy sector. He talked about what they're already doing, you know, open access, net metering, and so on and so forth. So overall, we came away with a positive feeling, a positive vibe. Obviously, there was a question to say, look, why we still have load shedding? Right. But then that question will always be there until we are 100% on the grid, 24 hours of power all the time. So yeah, it's things to look forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, obviously, Jason, you know, one of the things that you know, we also observed was you know, the number of delegates that came in. It looks like ZDA did a very good job to woo investors. This is their first conference. Obviously, it's an inaugural conference. But from a KPMG perspective, how encouraged are you about, you know, what you've seen for yourself, real feel, in terms of even some of the conversations you've had with, you know, various investors? From a KPMG perspective, how encouraged are you in terms of us being, you know, ticking the boxes as it were, in terms of bringing confidence back and Zambia being an investment destination?
I think you're right. I think hats off to ZDA for organizing this. I understand we had over 2,000 delegates from well over 30 countries across the world, which is a good thing, considering that it's an inaugural conference, inaugural investor conference. So big, hats off to them. My take is it speaks to confidence in the country, that Zambia is again becoming an attractive destination for FDI. But not only that, even internally, we've got a booth here. My team said they received a lot of interest, especially from the SME sector and even small power producers who want to jump into this area. Not just solar, but even wind and so on and so forth. So it shows that I think the sentiment is positive, it's a good vibe. I think it goes in line with you know, the change we have now, the more positive news we have around the macros. Kwacha strengthening, inflation dropping from 70% in January to about 14% now. GDP on a good trajectory, 4.5% as at the end of the quarter one. Yes. So I think we're on track, or I'd like to believe that we're on track to achieve the 6.2%. It's a stretch, yes, but I think we're on the right track.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then maybe just you know, some final thoughts from you regarding, you know, like events like this, and how, you know, I noted that you mentioned, you know, the encouragement that you know, SMEs can have from events like this. You know, going forward, I know that you know, ZDA now has set aside, you know, very ambitious plans for next year as well to make it even bigger. What would you say to them in terms of encouragement, you know, for events like this, and what would you like to see, you know, come out in the future?
I think they should do what they're doing. Already this year we've seen they had a number of sponsors, which is good. And I think the success of this year's conference will enable them to bring even more sponsors on board next year. We'll probably, I expect we should have more exhibitors, more delegates, and more visitors from more countries. I didn't say there were over 30 countries this year. It would be nice next year if we have more than 50. But they're on the right track. I think they've ticked off most of the boxes. There may have been a few hitches in organization, but those are easily overcome. And I've got full confidence in Albert Alwampa and his team and his crew that next year's conference will be bigger and better than this year's.
Absolutely. No, Jason, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Welcome.
All right, so you've heard it from yourself, from the principal at KPMG Zambia. So thank you so much for watching this, you know, this special interview. And as we always say at Financial Insight, get to know.